Hey guys, Becca Scoops here. Thanks for joining me. This is just a quick impromptu video because I needed to spill some hot tea for y'all about some behind the scenes things that have happened in the Gypverse. So last night, many of you know, May 19th was the finale of the show. And that's not what's really interesting because if you watched it, it was very, very boring. We're going to go over a couple parts of it, but it's not really what this video is about. This video is about the continued bad behavior of the woman, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. In fact, it's called Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Gypsy likes to get other people to do her dirty deeds. We've seen this time and time again. And this is another example. The other thing she likes to do is she likes to triangulate people, usually two men with her in the middle of the triangle, right? And she's even going to admit that in this video. And it's really quite telling. But before we get to all that, we need to review a little bit so we can get the perspective on the hot tea I'm going to spill here. Okay. Many of you know, but if you don't know, that's why we do a little review. Gypsy has had it in for her ex, Ryan Anderson. She pretends that she does not have it in for him, but she actually does, and her actions always speak way louder than her words. Now, a few days ago, before the finale, Gypsy was caught on a TikTok live stream where she was talking about the finale. And her hope was that Lifetime would include these private text messages from Ryan Anderson. Now, we've seen Gypsy do this before with Ryan, right? She has gone to her BFF Bree to expose private text messages between her and Ryan Anderson. And the motivation for her doing that was hopefully to make the public hate Ryan Anderson and like her better. And it always backfires on Gypsy, and it's going to backfire again on her. I promise you. Anyways, she wanted Lifetime to put out all these text messages that she believed in her mind would show that Ryan Anderson is a horrible human being. The reality is, Lifetime showed a couple of them, and what this had to do with the baby that she has, Aurora, right? And the paternity issue, this whole paternity problem that they had after she had the baby. Quick review: Gypsy had the baby in the state of Louisiana. She was still married to Ryan Anderson, and in that state, that meant he was the legal father. Okay. So he was on the birth certificate. We've all seen if you haven't, you can look up pictures of the birth certificate. Their images are going around online. It shows Ryan's name as the father. This has also been confirmed on the series. So this isn't an allegation. This is the truth. He was the legal father when the little girl was born. Okay. And so to get him off the birth certificate, he needed to take a paternity test. And it became this big brouhaha between them about him taking the test. Anyways, what I want to talk about today is how Gypsy decided it was a good idea to dox Ryan Anderson and dox his phone number, his actual phone number, allegedly, and send to obscure content creators these private text messages between the two of them in hopes that it would put Anderson in a bad light. So what happened was one content creator came out with a video, And here's a little bit of it.
Lifetime did not show all of Ryan's texts in the season finale tonight. Ryan told Gypsy he would come take Aurora because Ken didn't want him to meet her. That's a threat. That's not an ultimatum. Some people didn't believe Gypsy when she said Ryan gave her an ultimatum, but there are multiple texts proving he did. In fact, Ryan even threatened to get the police involved. These are the texts. At first, I blacked out Ryan's number, but then I remembered there are people out there who would try to remove that, so I cropped it out completely. Some of Ryan's texts say,
Did you get that? What she just said? Let's listen to that part again.
out Ryan's number, but then I remembered there are police involved. These are the texts. At first, I blacked out Ryan's number, but then I remembered there are people out there who would try to remove that.
She had to block out Ryan's number. Gypsy was sending Ryan's number to obscure content creators. The text messages aren't that incriminating. It's not the important part here. We'll go over some of them, but the important part here is Gypsy sending his phone number out to obscure content creators. Now, let's review about the baby and about what Gypsy is claiming he's a horrible person, okay? Here's Ryan on the last episode showing pictures Gypsy sent him of the baby when the baby was born. Okay? Let's listen to another clip here.
Right after she left, Gypsy texted me a bunch of pregnancy tests and said she was pregnant. Okay, well, who's the father? And it could have been me or Ken at that point.
Right, so this is a little review, but this is giving the whole background of Gypsy's complaint about Ryan being mean in these text messages that she wanted Lifetime to air, which they didn't. The background here is that Gypsy has been manipulating this man since day one, and it only got worse after she dumped him and left and got pregnant by another man, because then she started doing this stuff, sending him text messages of pregnancy photos of, positive pregnancy tests and stuff.
So she didn't know. She was like, I don't know. The previous month, she sent me pictures of pregnancy tests, but this time there's no pictures, no proof, and so I don't know what to believe. It's one of those I don't believe it. I still don't. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that. Secretly, Gypsy and me were trying to get pregnant. Gypsy always wanted to be pregnant.
Okay. So here, before any of these text messages between that Gypsy was trying to out to make him look like a horrible person, right? She was manipulating him and manipulating him and manipulating him with these text shots of positive pregnancy tests. Then when she had the baby, pictures of the baby with the glamour shots. Okay. She's constantly playing with this man's mind. He didn't know if he was coming or going, this guy, right? But he's the bad one. He's the bad one, okay? Just that's what she wants you to believe. She's the bad one. What else did she do to Ryan? How about this? How about when she posted this about Ryan, right? That he was taking the prescription that she alleges, we don't know if it's true or not, but she alleged, made fun of him, the sweat rags, secret life of the sweat rag. There's he is with these rags, that he was taking the prescription drug methadone, which can be taken for pain or, yes, can be taken if you have an addiction problem. It's none of our business. And she had no right to make fun of him for that. And it backfired on her, right? It backfired on her. And then what does she do? She does this.
Okay, how about you quit talking about me? It's been 3 fucking months since I texted you. And you're spiraling out of control. So just remember, just as much dirt as you have on me, I have on you, honey. You punch at me, I punch back 10 times harder. Go see a therapist.
Yeah. So she goes and she does that, right? Right. And it backfired so badly on her. There was so much public backlash calling her out for the methadone sweat rag, how she was making fun of him for that. She was shaming him. She's constantly trying to shame and humiliate this man. And I don't know why she left him. She had an affair on him. But she has to keep this triangle going. She has to have a love triangle. And I think I found a clip. I'm going to play it for you that proves why and how she has to have a love triangle. It's really quite telling. But before I get to that, just wanted to review again what she did next, right? Because this is very important. Now, remember, I showed you the clip of that content creator in the beginning who was a Gypsy stan, obviously, but she was talking about how she had to clip out Ryan's phone number because Gypsy was putting out these new text messages. Gypsy's trying to put out these new text messages from Ryan. They're not new text messages. They're private text messages, but she's trying to bring them out now, present day, May 20th, okay? May 19th, yesterday. All right. But let's take a little spin around the block, as Nina says, and let's listen to what Gypsy said in her apology.
I truly am sorry. Even if you give me many other jabs, I won't put out anything else about you.
What?
Put out. I truly am sorry.
Okay.
Even if you give me many other jabs, I won't put out anything else about you.
That apology, as many of you know, but if you don't know, was directed and specifically for Ryan Anderson, her ex-husband. And there she was promising that she wouldn't put out any jabs out at him. She wouldn't do what she had been doing with the methadone, with the private text messages. She had also used her BFF Bree, this other woman on TikTok who's on TikTok lives all the time. Gypsy uses her as her bulldog to put out things that Gypsy doesn't want to put out herself. Like we saw in our last video, Gypsy said, I can't do it myself. Gypsy doesn't like to be the one to do these things. Just like with the murder of her mother, she likes other people to do her dirty deeds, done dirt cheap. This time, Gypsy went to other content creators, but she also went to Bree. Now, here is Bree. Now that you have the background, the full flavor of Gypsy trying to go to different content creators to get them to put out bad information on Ryan Anderson because she wants to utterly humiliate him, to continue this humiliation of Ryan Anderson. I don't know why she's hell-bent on destroying this man, but she is. She is. So let's listen to what her BFF Bree had to say about all of this, okay?
And Ryan, that's valid. You are allowed to not like this guy. You're allowed to hate him. That's okay. What's not okay are these text messages. So let's just jump.
So here it is again. Gypsy is using Bree plus that other content creator we saw in the beginning. But here she is also using Bree once again, because remember, Gypsy's on a social media detox. She can't do it herself. And she wouldn't do it herself even if she wasn't on a social media detox, because Gypsy, if anything, is predictable. And starting with the murder of her mother, she doesn't do her own dirty work. Okay, so here she's got Bree to do this, and she's given Bree some other private text messages that they're hoping will make Ryan look like a horrible human being.
Right into this. So Ryan texted Gypsy at 3:10 today and said, Gypsy, why are you giving out my number? I have never done that to you. Why?
Now remember, this is Ryan Actually, let me take this off. I need to show you something else before I show you this, okay? Remember that this woman, this other content creator, had gotten, I know this is confusing, but just stay with me. The other content creator had gotten Ryan's phone number. Gypsy had sent them out with text messages. Gypsy did not obscure his phone number, right? So his phone number was going around, all right? And this is part of the text messages that Gypsy wanted people to put out. I'll read a little bit of it so you can decide if you think Ryan's being a terrible person. This has to do with the paternity. So Gypsy writes, Gypsy's in purple. She writes, so Ken doesn't want you around Aurora. So the plan is me and you will go give our samples, like their cheek squabs, right, for paternity, and Ken will bring Aurora in after we leave. I can't argue he is her father. So he is in his right to say who can and can't be around her. And Ryan said, no, he isn't. I'm the legal father. I will be a prick. Fuck Ken. Okay. Now, is Ryan being hostile? Yeah, he is. Does he have a reason? Yeah, he does. I mean, for God's sakes, let the man be a prick. He's even admitting I'm being a prick. You know, you cheated on me. You've been stringing me along. You've been sending me glamour shots. You've been sending me pictures of the baby. You know, all of these things, right? And so this is back then, this is months ago when this was going down. But Gypsy wants these messages outed now. This is part of the messaging Gypsy wants outed now. Okay. And then he goes on, you can read it. You can come back and read this, okay? It's not, to me, it's not important. He's just saying, and shame on you for not letting him think he does about, he's mad at Ken. It's understandable. He's mad at Ken, And then these people are like, wow, she even exposed his number too. WTF, right? And now this person then writes to Ryan to inform him, look, Ryan, I'm sorry, I have your phone number. Obviously, she's messaging him. And she's letting Ryan know, please know I don't think this is right. And I'm truly sorry for everything she's put you through. I hope you're able to stop her from doxing or take legal action in the future. And then this woman or man writes, whoever it is, if Ryan has already changed his number, I apologize that she's trying to dox a random person. Again, I won't reach out any further. Just wanted to inform you. Thank you, best. And then Ryan said, I need proof. So Ryan isn't even just taking this, and this kind of is proof because this person is actually the one. But Ryan's like, I need proof it was Gypsy doing it. Right? Because now Ryan knows his phone number's out there because random people are texting him, but he wants proof that it was Gypsy. So Ryan wasn't even going to come at Gypsy right away. He's like, you know what? Show me the proof. And obviously he got the proof. Okay. He got the proof. And so after he got the proof, this is what happens. And this is what Bree is trying to expose. So now this will make sense of what Bree then posts after Ryan. Ryan is now texting Gypsy, why are you giving out my number?
Then Ken texts him back, fan of Ken Euchre's, right? And Ryan, that's valid. You are allowed to not like this guy. You're allowed to hate him. That's okay. What's not okay are these text messages. So let's just jump right into this. So Ryan texts Gypsy at 3.
So up there, Gypsy, why are you giving out my phone number? I have never done that to you. Why? He's hurt. He's confused. Why are you doing this to me? This just happened. This part just happened.
10 today and said, Gypsy, why are you giving out my number? I have never done that to you. Why? Then Ken texts him back.
And here's how Gypsy keeps the triangle going, right? This is message text to Gypsy. And what does she do? What does she do? Ken, Ryan's messaging me. when she orchestrated the whole thing, folks. She sets up these two men like bowling ball pins and knocks them down every time. They fall for it every time. And what is Ken going to do? Instead of saying, Gypsy, I know you, Gypsy. I'm sure if he's messaging you, you've done something to upset him. But no, Ken hasn't figured any of that out yet. Even, and this is in real time. This is, yesterday, May 19th. Okay.
And said, this is Ken. She didn't give your number. Okay. Now,
but we know that she did. So once again, she lies to Ken. She sets up Ryan, gets his goat, gets him going, gets him to text, right? And now Ryan's going to say some homophobic slurs. And to them, this is the whole moral issue. Let's listen.
Let's get to Ryan's messages. Okay, so I'm going to try to read Ryan's responses without getting my video taken down. BS.
So I don't want to really get too much into this. You can see it. I'm not on like Team Ryan or Team Ken. I'm on Team Truth. And Ryan texted, you can see it there on the screen. Okay. So yeah, there's some slurs there. That he went there. Is it right? No, it's not right. But is everything that happened to Ryan right? Why is this poor man why is Gypsy continually to contact this man to now dox his phone number to people? It's mind-boggling. Now, Bree removed this video. I don't know if she got backlash or people were like, or if Gypsy told her to take it down, but the damage had been done as far as Ryan goes. Ryan's played like a fiddle constantly. Gypsy, remember, she supposedly said, I'm not going to do anything more to you in her apology tour, her 10-minute apology video, but she did. And now I want to go over a little bit of the finale, because this ties in also to Ryan and this whole this whole triangulation that Gypsy does of these men and her. And you're going to see how much she loves it in this video.
The results from the second paternity test.
Oh my God, who was the dad?
Who do you think?
What a shock.
Yeah. I'm just happy that's over. Ryan did a couple of lives on TikTok, but he didn't mention anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So here Gypsy is starting to set up Ken. She likes the triangulation. She's mentioning, look, I had to post. She didn't have to post any of this. Didn't have to post anything to the world about any of this. But of course, we know Gypsy, and she feels the need to post all of this. It's always too much information with Gypsy. And here she's setting up Ken.
Any communication with Ryan about
none whatsoever.
Right, right. Me and Ryan, we don't communicate. When all along they communicate. As of yesterday, they were communicating. Okay, Gypsy hasn't blocked him. He hasn't blocked her. Gypsy claims she blocked him, but she never did. I guess that was for Ken's benefit. Gypsy, the truth always comes out in the end, honey. It always comes out in the end.
He hasn't said anything about it on his live?
He hasn't said anything about it.
So, Ryan being a petty little bitch is no longer standing in our way, huh?
Watch Gypsy's face here.
Kenan.
I just love it, Kenan, when we're in a love triangle, and I love it when you call, the other man a stupid little bitch or whatever it was.
I don't know. Ryan's a mixed bag of emotions.
Yeah, Ryan's a mixed bag of emotions because you've had him on a roller coaster for a couple of years, and the last year it's been a hell of a roller coaster. You just can't let that guy go. You've got to keep that guy on that roller coaster. And Ryan, you could have gotten off at any time.
I do my best not to judge Ryan because I have been there and still am there with healing.
Look at the utter delight on her face. She's thinking about it. She says, oh, this is just so much fun. Got these two men that, they want me. They like me. They want to be with me.
Time will heal, but there's no there's no measure of time to where it's like, okay, and
No, time doesn't heal everything. No, it doesn't.
5 years, you'll be okay.
I mean, he said himself before, like, I never questioned the paternity, but now all of a sudden he wants to just, like, cause all this
No, listen to this.
drama and chaos.
No, he's not the one causing the drama and chaos, Ken. It's that woman in the room with you, and you, as her co star, are keeping it going. Okay. Ryan was just the idiot who married her and didn't realize he was marrying a malignant narcissist who was a sociopath who murdered her own mother, but got somebody else to do it for her, who's in prison for life. No, he's not the problem, Ken. It's the woman, the scary woman in the room with you.
But it's all over now, and we're almost out of the woods. That's just my opinion. I mean, obviously.
I understand.
This whole second test was just for show, basically. I mean,
No, it wasn't for show. This is again wrong, Ken. Legally, Ryan was the father. And his attorney in this episode told him to go take a paternity test to get it over with once and for all. They knew probably he was not the father, but Gypsy is the one who made him question that he possibly was the father. Okay? And legally, for the state of Louisiana, he had to prove to the state he was not the father so that his name could come off the birth certificate. Okay? So legally, he had to go do that.
we knew what it was going to be, and it was exactly what we thought. It's me, of course.
He knew all along that he wasn't the father.
No, he didn't, because what you didn't know, Ken, what you should have known, is that that woman in the room with you was stringing him along, sending him glamour shots, sending him pictures of the baby, sending him pregnancy tests. He didn't know. He did not know. He was questioning it because of her actions. He was questioning it.
Just purposely tried to drag her through the mud because it's just...
No, this whole video I'm making is her trying to drag Ryan Anderson through the mud. And like I said, I'm not his #1 fan, but I don't like this type of behavior. I don't like this manipulation, going behind people's back to try to dox someone, to try to make them look terrible and horrible. And then you act like your hands are clean, Gypsy. That's what this was all about. Going to the other content creators, having Bree put out that video, and making Ryan look like an evil person.
You know, the pay little bitch.
I am
No,
not
that
going
guy.
to say a word.
She's thrilled.
I am Switzerland.
I'm Germany.
Now, I want you to pay attention to this part especially, because this says it all about who Gypsy Rose Blanchard is in her own mind. Did you hear her say she's Switzerland? And Ken says, I'm Germany, an obvious reference to World War II. During World War II, Switzerland was neutral. So she's saying, I'm Switzerland, I'm neutral. And Ken picks up on it and he says, I'm Germany, like Adolf Hitler, like the Nazis. Like, I'm not neutral. I'm the big bad wrecker of this scenario. Get it? Get what this whole thing was about? But here's where this takes a weird turn with what Gypsy says, because obviously Gypsy doesn't know her history.
Do you get that reference though?
yeah, they stayed out of the war, right? Like,
Yeah, they stay out of the war, right? Right, Gypsy? That's what you're talking about. Switzerland, right?
Well, in Twilight, Bella says,
Oh, then I have
I'm
no idea.
Switzerland because she didn't want to get in between Edward and Jacobs.
well, I think what that was like a...
I can't with this woman. No, to her, it's not World War II. Oh God, no, she doesn't even know what World War II is, I think. To her, it's all about Twilight. She's Bella. She's Bella, and these two idiots, Ryan and Ken, are these other people in that show. Everything is a romantic show with her, a Disney princess, or she's a vampire queen, Bella. You know, I'm Bella. Don't you get it? The triangle. And she's thrilled, guys. Look at her face. She is utterly thrilled that she's Bella, that she has achieved this by all of her manipulation tactics, all the way she played Ken and all the ways she played Ryan. She got these two dolts to do what she wanted them to do, and they're too stupid to see her for who she truly is. And so she got what she wanted. She became Bella in real life.
It's a callback to like World War II, like Switzerland state. I don't remember.
The best part about me and Ken is that no matter I posted.
So that's it. I just needed to make this video to get this off my chest because I can't stand a person like that who is manipulating a whole host of people behind the scenes. These little content creators that are posting videos. Bree continues to be manipulated. And then, of course, Ryan and Ken continue to be manipulated by Gypsy. Now, we're all adults. Everyone's an adult. So that doesn't mean that Gypsy is this all powerful person, who these people have decisions to make. Ken can leave her. Ryan can block her text and be done with her, right? Bree can wake up to what's going on. And these other content creators, if Gypsy's sending you something, why is she sending it to you? She's using you to be her little minion to serve her purpose. And it makes me sick. And I'm sure it makes you all sick too. So that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching Becca Scoops, and we'll be back. We're going to be doing a live stream here shortly, so be looking for that. And until next time, guys, thank you so much. Love you all. Bye-bye.